What's going on, guys? It's Steve. So, unfortunately for Indiana fans and Pacer fans in general, unfortunately, today is the end of your season. I'm sorry to say it, but it's the end of your season. And guess what? It's probably going to be the end of an era because Paul George is going to want out. Paul George is going to want out without a doubt, okay? He has no help whatsoever. Monte Ellis is not showing up. He's inconsistent. Jeff Teague will show up for 10 seconds and then disappear. He has no help on his team. There's no excuse to why his second best help on a team with a former All-Star in Jeff Teague, one of the best non-All-Stars ever in Monte Ellis, one of the most underrated players ever. Okay? There's no excuse to why Lance Stevenson shows up, but they don't. Listen, I know he's playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers, but you can't even win one game. And it's not a knock on Paul George because Paul George has been showing up. Now, let's not, just suck on Paul George and let's be real and objective for a second. Paul George is 0 for 15 in the final shot for the, last 20 seconds of a game for his entire career. So let's not be so critical on his teammates and also be critical on Paul George because it's partly his fault as well. Okay? Some questionable turnovers at the end of the games. Okay? Some questionable shot making. Talking trash about his team when he shouldn't. That's bad leadership. So overall, this team they didn't collapse to me, but to Indiana fans, they just collapsed. Okay? I already knew this was going to happen. But I'm happy for Paul George, and here's why. This is going to help Paul George get to that next level where he realizes, okay, look, because look, here's the thing. When you're young, you think you can do it all by yourself. Okay? This explains why LeBron James played 7 years in Cleveland before he went to Miami. And then he finally realized, like, whoa, okay. LeBron's a special case because he had more playoff experience than Paul George did at a young age. But Paul George is at that young age where he thinks he can win all by himself. Okay? But this series, him playing against LeBron, a latter year of LeBron, that is, he's going to realize, like, look, I can't. I'm going to have to change teams, or you're going to have to get someone around me. And I've been here for, 4 or 5 years now in my prime, and you still haven't got anyone around me? Yeah, I can't do this anymore. Okay? So this means 2 of 3 things. Paul George is going to leave the Indiana Pacers, or Indiana's going to get their act together and try and get some big-name free agents. But no one's going to want to go to the Indiana Pacers because, one, their window of opportunity is very, very short with Monte Ellis being a veteran now, an older veteran, with Jeff Teague getting up there in age. Okay, with Al Jefferson being old as hell, Grandpa Al. He's not Big Al anymore. He can't average 20 and 10 anymore. Okay, so it's a bunch of, I know they have young players like Miles Turner and things like that, but, they have really nothing to build on besides Paul George, and there's no guarantee Paul George is going to stay with the Indiana Pacers. So it's a very sad situation for Indiana because either way, Indiana's probably going to get screwed over because if they do decide to build around Paul George, they're still not going to get out of the Eastern Conference for the next few years because of LeBron. Well, they're already building around him, but get better players around him. They're still not going to get out of the Eastern Conference because of LeBron James being there. Okay? And then on top of that, there's no guarantee Paul George is going to stay in the first place. So it's a very, or maybe he's going to demand a trade. So it's a very, very bad situation in general for the Indiana Pacers. And I do feel really bad for them. But however, tonight is the night their season ends. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers will defeat the Indiana Pacers. Get your broomsticks out. I'm not knocking at the Pacers. I'm not, at least their team made the playoffs, right? That's what people say, right? At least their team made the playoffs, but my team didn't, right? Yep. Just throw it all in my face. Thank you. Anyway, so I think this is a good learning experience for Paul George. It's something that all players need to go through. Very, very big experience for Paul George. Anyway, that's my prediction for tonight. Maybe I'm wrong. But a lot of you guys are finally starting to realize, like, that Steve curse, it's not really a curse. That was just me messing around in the regular season. But, I'm not going to say anything. All I'll say is 100% of my playoff predictions have been correct so far. I'm out. It's been your man, Steve. Peace.